welcome to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. This is step number 37 along the path, and today one of our hosts has a lot to say about learning patience. Also, an interesting discussion of a new thing, FOBO? Yeah, it's fear of a better option. Now, let's get started on the path for today. And indeed, welcome aboard to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth episode, or step, as we like to say, number 37, because a path has steps along it for some reason. And I came up with that idea 6 months ago, and here we are still doing it. So 37. Bill Sklodowski, along with my friend and partner, guru, coach, and all-around good person, Vicki Wagoner in Blue Ridge, Georgia. How are you this morning?
Good, Bill. I'm doing good. Thank you.
We were comparing notes before the start of the recording about our various physical, what's the word?
Boo-boos.
Boo-boos. Thanks, Mom. Boo-boos. But you're so right. Yeah, you're so right. So she was showing off a bruised arm from some wood cutting and wood stacking in the mountains at Blue. See, this is why I live in the city. I'm never going to have to worry about trees falling on me. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, it was kind of mid-air collision.
You had a mid-air collision with some wood. Yeah, with some logs.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sends me these pictures midweek about bruising on her arm, and now she was just showing it off now, and it's even nicer looking now, and I don't mean that in a good way. So
yeah, no.
we got to work on that healing thing. And yes. Speaking of healing, I'm now, in fact, again, here we go with the time travel. As you listen to this, if you listen when the new shows are released, because we released this podcast on Thursday. We recorded on a Tuesday, release it on a Thursday. I will probably be mid-surgery as you are listening right now.
Yeah.
So the eye thing is finally time to do it.
Yeah.
The good news, as I was reporting, is that it's not getting worse. It's not getting any better, but it's not like, it's the same condition, I would say. And again, this is, I have zero experience with this. I was, to your good husband there, Mr. Rick. He's had similar, I don't think he's had exactly the same surgery I'm going to have, but he had very similar eye retina reattachment, something or other.
Yeah.
And our friend BJ Odom had it too, a few years ago. Again, not exactly the same, surgery, but we'll see. I mean, it's scheduled for Thursday, and then I have a follow-up appointment the following week, and then apparently I just have to live with the temporary, like driving around with a temporary spare tire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a temporary fix in the eyeball for a month while it heals, and then I get to go back in, and it's icky. It's just icky. They drain the fluid out of the eyeball and replace it with good stuff. And it grosses me out. I'm going to be honest with you. I am in the latter half of my 60s, other than having my tubes stapled as a man, other than having that permanent birth control as a man when I was in my late 20s, and that was literally an hour office visit as well. Yeah. I've had zero surgeries. The only time I've ever been in a hospital is to visit other people, like my friend BJ, that sort of thing. And my wife, 20 years ago, shout out to Miss Paula, she had a procedure done, and I visited with her. That's it. So when this stuff comes along, I tell myself I'm strong and it'll be great and all that. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, this is freaking me out. So it's just, it kind of messes with this is how it relates to the podcast, to the personal and spiritual growth aspect of it. Kind of messes with my little thought pattern of, no, I'm great. I'm in good shape. I'm fabulous. And as long as I keep believing that, then I will be. Well, sometimes Mother Nature or the powers that be have other plans for you. It's, I guess. I see
Well,
you're making a face there. What do you think?
yeah, you still have to stay positive. Look at it as,
Yes.
thank goodness we have all this technology. Thank goodness that the doctors are more advanced than they were, 20, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago. Okay.
Right.
And looking at you're being proactive,
Right.
which is really important, that you are taking action to help yourself, make sure that you keep your eyesight, which, is so up to me. It's one of the most important things that I've got,
Right.
in my
Right.
heart, because it keeps me alive. But I more look at it that thank goodness they have this technology, because, like you said, Rick had it. He's had it twice. And
Right.
he would have gone blind if he
Right.
didn't have, all these medical, doctors and, equipment and, all these ways of, fixing everything.
Right.
So,
Right.
and you always have to look at the positive, to bring that positive energy in, because the more you look at the positive, the better things are going to be.
So I guess that's I know, guess, I know that that's our message for the day is that, even though things,
Mhm.
you might be having a challenge with something or whatever, that
Yeah.
there's always, well, and that's a Vicki Wagner lesson of life, that there's always a lesson in something. There's always a
Oh,
message. There's always and we choose by the way we think about it, we choose, it
right.
can be a positive or a negative, and it's 50-50. You might as well choose positive because
Yep.
that seems to work out better.
It does.
So yes. So yeah, I get that. I do. And I'm not trying to bum anybody out. I mean, I've done it to myself often enough in the past week or so, but yes, at the same time, I do recognize, all right, I am getting this taken care of. Thank
Yes.
you, universe, gods, doctors, nurses, whatever. Thank you all for being there and for having the ability to fix this. I mean,
Yes.
there would probably have been a time, well, not probably, there would have been a time that something like this, you would just live with it. It would
Yeah.
just eventually, you'd become half one, your vision would be reduced by half because your one
Mhm.
eye would be useless. So anyway,
Right.
long story short, yes, I am choosing to think good things and positive things and that all will be well and all of that.
Yep.
And so you know, here we are. Here we are. And in a week, in the next show, it will be post-op, and it should be
Yes.
interesting to see how that works out.
So let's ask everyone that's listening to send you good energy,
Oh,
to
thank you.
send you good vibes,
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes.
success in your surgery.
I know. So yes, I accept. I accept all that incoming good energy, and I will put it to good work on that eyeball there. And so yeah, Bill's left eye needs your doesn't need Bill's left eye thanks you for the incoming good vibes and energy that people are putting out for it. There you go. So
Yeah.
and so now, what arm? Left arm, right arm for you?
For what? My
For
soul,
your
my
bruise? No, no, no. For your bruise.
oh, my left arm.
Left arm. Vicky's left arm could use a little healing too while we're at
Yes.
it. So,
Yes.
because I mean, if you are of that belief of healing energy being out there in the universe, there's no limit to it. Bill can take
No.
all he needs, Vicky can take all she needs, and it's not diminished in any way. There's plenty for everybody else.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thought in and of itself too. That some people I have talked to in the spiritual business, they have that what I would consider to be a limiting belief. It's kind of like, well, but if I do it, then there won't be enough for no. There's always
Oh,
an infinite amount of
yeah,
energy to go around for people. So there you go.
absolutely.
Hey, it's Bill stepping out of the studio for a quick second. On the podcast, one of the things we talk about a lot is motivation, the desire to get things done in life. It might be physical stuff, losing a few pounds, getting a better job, finding a great relationship. Or it might be more of what I like to call internal things, finding ways to feel better about yourself or life in general. Well, to help our listeners along that particular path, we've prepared a helpful, simple guide for personal motivation. It's called Flipping the Switch: How to Create Motivation at a Moment's Notice. I'd like to send you a free copy along with some other special bonus goodies. Bonus, you say? Well, yes, kind of an unadvertised in-store special. What is it? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself. So, do this. Head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com. Yep, the same name as the podcast itself. Put in your email and we'll immediately send you to the free download. We'll also let you know about upcoming podcast episodes and other behind-the-scenes information. Again, just head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com, and get your free guide to boosting your personal motivation. I'm sure you'll find it helpful and, dare I say, practical. Now, back to the show.
Bill just took 10 minutes to give you the medical report there on what's going on. How's life in Blue Ridge, and what are you up to these days besides you're cleaning up the woods there? Don't they have elves for that? Don't they have woodland creatures to help you?
I text them, but they didn't answer, so I'm on vacation.
You had to go out and do it yourself.
To do it myself.
I hear that. That's funny.
I like stuff like that. I like doing that kind of stuff. I love.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do.
Physical labor.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just weird.
No, it's okay. I get it. I do, because I mean, you're up there living in on the mountain in Georgia, and I know for a fact that you get, just living where you do, you get more exercise than somebody like me living in the city. And it's not like I'm living in New York. I'm living in a little small town of Gainesville or whatever. But got my elevator, got my car, got my grocery cart, got my all of that stuff. And I've thought of that on the times I've been up there, like when I've dog sit for Max and the cabin there. You got to walk the puppy 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I can see where this would be. You'd get your workout just walking the dog.
Oh yeah.
For starters, it's up and down the hills of the mountain where you live there.
Yeah.
So
just getting out of the driveway is a hike.
Getting up your driveway is a workout for your legs. It really is. And I appreciate that. It's not for me, but at the same time, I get it that I do. It reminds me when I do it, that I do need to be doing something physical.
Oh, yes.
And for most of us in town people or small town people or what, there's a storefront gym somewhere, or my apartment has a wonderful little gym, which I'm going to start using just as soon as I can after this eyeball gets taken care of, because somebody, not to mention any names, Vicki Wagoner, read me the riot act when I told her I went and played a tiny bit of pickleball last weekend. So
that's what's behind it too. Don't blame me.
I'm not. Yeah. You and husband both said don't do that, and I've had to but I've had to text into my friends on regular pickleball nights to say sorry. Doctor's orders, can't go. So we'll see how that works out. So see, I recognize that even though I tell myself I like to be I forget the word, but I like to be open to new things anytime, all the time, whatever, I forget the word. Wow, that's bad. I forgot a word. But I'm not. I'm more of a creature of habit. Okay, I play pickleball on Monday and Wednesdays, and that's a regular thing, and now it's in my mind, and I'm like, okay, today as I'm recording this, it's, whatever, and I should be doing this, and it's like, So anyway.
It's only for a short time.
For sure. All right. To our friends and listeners, I'm not sure I want to apologize, but I do want to say that me bitching about my health is not something that I choose to do every week. I thank you for listening, and now I want to change things around a little bit so that we can have more fun and talk about some fun stuff. So how's that?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Wow. I don't know. I don't. It's just so crazy out there. It's just, anyway. So, speaking of time passing and all of that, and it's just, I continue to be amazed at how, when people talk about how time passes, and here we are talking about getting older and all that. So,
Yeah.
On the BJ and Bill podcast, my old radio buddy and I interviewed or had a guest on of another disc jockey from Fort Myers, Florida, where we were all
Yes.
originally broadcasting. And to hear him talk about 30 years at the same radio station and doing the same thing and all that. I mean, he just recently retired like a year ago. It just, the passing of time is starting to blow my mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's just to listen to him talk about, well, yeah, well, 20 years ago we did this and 10 years ago we did this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm remembering that. I was there, or have my own memories of those times. And how does that work? How does it even work that we remember, that we have all of this life experience, but yet in the moment, hopefully, we are right here, right now.
Mhm.
I'm talking to my friend via this technology, this call, and we're putting out this podcast, and other people are listening. And maybe they're thinking about where they were 30 years ago, but they're like, it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't really compute that way. It's,
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going with this other than to say, it's like, yes, I can look back on, like, when I got married, or when I was in high school, for God's sakes, or when I was in college and all that time. And memory is funny. You don't feel the time in between. When you bring up the memory of something, it's like, oh yeah, I'm right there. You're in that moment in your head or whatever. And then you
Right.
think, oh no, that was 20, 30, 40 years ago.
I know, it's like, whoa.
Whoa. Because again, here we are talking about, our health and later years and stuff like that, and thinking ahead to more good times and all of that. But
Mhm.
it's so interesting to me, and I guess maybe that's something I've had time to think about now that I'm not doing much of anything this week, about time passing and memories and how you choose to remember stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
It's weird. It's weird and it's interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, my ex-wife always used to say that, and she probably still does if we were to ask her. She would notice the passing of time watching other people's kids grow up, because
Oh,
we didn't
yeah.
have any children, so we didn't.
Right.
But you have grandkids,
Yes.
and now they are how old?
Well, Zoe is 17
17.
and Reese is 15.
I remember when they were born. I mean, you
Baby.
called me and told me you're going to be a
Oh,
grandmother and all of that sort of a thing. And that
yep.
was 17 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God.
No. And then, of course, my little one who's 6. So,
Right.
yep. Yeah.
How does that even happen?
I blink and they're as tall as I am.
How does that even happen? And
I
and and what do we do with that? I mean, I don't know where I'm going with that. It just seemed interesting to me to talk about, because again, I've been focused so much on time passing this past week. It's like,
yeah.
can I just get this next 2 weeks over with? Can I just?
Yes.
And it's no. While you're in it, you got to live it minute to minute, second to second, and it can
Mhm.
drive you nuts if you let it, or you can be thankful for it or whatever. I mean,
Right.
I get it. Some people don't have the good experience of life that we have. And
Yeah.
so I understand that. It's interesting. It's just, I don't, tell me what you think about that. I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling here, but it's good
You're
stuff.
not rambling. You're bringing up some good points that,
Yeah.
it's in the moment, it seems slow, but all of a sudden you look back and you go, whoa, I'm 72. Where did that time go?
Right.
And it's like, holy cow, and I don't know. I guess it's just, to me, it's right now, because, I lost my job when the building burned down. It just seems like it's been really, really slow, where before, like, everything was so fast, it's like I didn't have time to cram everything in. So,
Right.
but I don't know. I guess I just, this is what I've got right now, and I'm healthy, thank goodness. I only take vitamins. I'm in pretty good shape.
Right.
I've got a replaced shoulder.
Well, we
Other
all get
than
to the point.
that, I feel really great. So I just try to fill every moment knowing that, it's passes really quickly.
Yes, it does.
You look back and you go, whoa, wait a minute, when you're younger, it seems like, I just can't wait to grow up. And now that we're grown up, it's like, geez, I wish I could go back. So
Right?
I try to enjoy every moment because I know this moment is gone in a second, literally,
Yes.
and just enjoy my life and be thankful for all that I've got, because I'm very thankful. I have a wonderful husband, I've got great friends, I've got, people, that are very, kind and, I don't know, I've got good health, I've got food on my table,
All
I've
that
got,
stuff.
all that. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that really. It's
Well, no,
just
you have answered it. You
enjoying
have.
the
I mean,
moment.
it's a matter of it's to it's what we've been saying all along. It's a matter of being aware of the
Mhm.
moments that you're in and being thankful for the good parts of them
Yeah,
and maybe choosing some different ways of thinking about them in the not so good parts either because
right.
eventually those times will everything passes
Oh,
everything
yeah.
the
Hmm.
bad times pass the good times pass
Hmm.
and at the end of the day you're left with just the memory of all of them and now you get to do the filing process, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
for those of you who remember offices where you had paper, now nobody has paperwork
Oh,
anymore,
yeah.
but we're all computer file. Same thing though. I mean, you
Hmm.
have to pick a spot in your file cabinet to file that away, whether it's a physical one in your office or on a computer or something.
Right.
It's like, okay, maybe I'll need this in a year or 10 years or 20 years, who knows? Or this memory. So where am I going to file it? Now you have a choice.
Yeah.
This is my point to all of this was that filing system is good.
Hmm.
The choice of where and how you file that memory away, I'm using the office metaphor
Right.
of how you file that memory away, that's the important thing. It's like I
Yeah.
can look back in a year from today and go, "Oh, that thing with my eye, that was horrible. That was awful. I was Or I can file it in a completely different file and I can go, oh, that was great. I was having trouble with it, but I took care of it and now I'm
Mhm.
fine and everything is good and all of that. So
Yeah.
we've talked about this many a time on this show. I mean, you, our listeners, Bill, Vicki, and everybody else listening, you have the choice of how you think and feel about all the stuff that happens in your life.
Hmm. Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, I get it. There's going to be the car accidents or the dropping a log on your arm thing. Okay, it's not the best. Okay, I get it. But
Right.
you got through it. You're fine
Yeah.
now. Things are repaired. It's okay.
Right.
You know, I saw a quote somewhere that makes a lot of sense in this same kind of a thing that nothing is ever as bad as you think it is, and nothing's ever as good as you think it is. That everything just kind of in life just kind of comes and goes. You
Hmm.
are the constant in terms of how you think about stuff and what you feel
Right.
about stuff and all of that.
Hmm.
And now, okay, you get to put it all together into some puzzle of memories and patchwork of here's what I went through and here's what I did with it and here's how it's gone.
Yep.
And at the end of the year, you could sit back and go, yeah, it was a good year on balance. Or maybe it was like a year of some lessons to be learned or
Yes. Oh,
or
yeah.
trials and tribulations to go through, as they say. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I don't. I hope this is helpful for our listeners out there to think no matter what you're going through, I think the Louise Hay quote on all of this is so important is you always get to choose. You as the person going through that thing,
Hmm.
whether you at the moment think good, bad, or otherwise,
Right.
best experience ever, worst experience ever, or somewhere in the middle. You get to choose how you categorize that, file that, pick whatever
Mhm.
word you want, how
Right.
you're going to remember that.
Right. Right. And and I've said it before, there's a gift in everything.
Right.
And finding that gift, finding that lesson, how can you learn from it? How can you grow from it? How can you share it with others? So,
Share, that's interesting. Share it with others in terms
mhm.
of, you mean the lesson, the thing
Yeah,
that
the
I've
less
learned.
this is what I've learned, just sharing it with you, and what anybody ever does with it, that's up to them.
Right.
Yet knowing that you have moved it forward.
There you go. I like that. You have moved it forward. I like that.
Hmm.
Because I have known many, not many people, but I've known enough, including my mother, God bless her, very close to me, who had some things in life that she never got over.
Oh,
Never.
yeah.
And that I could see the way it haunted her, not
Hmm.
in a ghost way, but in a psychological way.
Yes.
And that looked uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not, not to pull too many punches, but it looked bad. It looked horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Mom. I love you, and I'm sure you're out there enjoying your afterlife somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can't find a way to and file that away somewhere and make a decision about it again, make a decision about it and file it away somewhere, and then get past it, like you just said. Keep moving forward.
Yes, you have to.
Or as Nemo said, just keep swimming. That wasn't Nemo, that was his friend, the blue fish. I forget. But
Oh.
just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Hmm. Yeah.
You just keep moving along, and then the next thing comes along in life.
Yes.
And you don't know what it's going to be, but again, you get the choice of deciding how you are going to think about it and use it and play with it in your life and whatever, and then that's up to you.
Absolutely.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's our lessons for today. There's our just keep swimming from Nemo and decide how you want to find. Now that I think about it, and I haven't, I'm sure as a grandma, how many times have you watched Finding Nemo? What, 1,000 times or what? Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Oh my God.
But really, the two
Oh,
fish, the two characters off to find Nemo, the child, the little baby fish,
right?
they exemplify so much of how this works because one of them, I mean, she was a little nuts, the blue, I forget her name, but the one blue fish, who she was a little crazy, but she was also crazy optimistic about everything. Everything's going to be great. We're going to do this is going to be great. This is going to be great. And the dad, looking for his, child, Nemo, he was the opposite. He was the pessimist. This is going to be horrible. This is going to be, and he had to learn the lessons of just keep swimming. Just keep
Yes.
moving along
Keep
and
moving
see what
forward.
the next chapter of the next second of life has to bring for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, little
Yes.
philosophy from a Disney movie today. Love
But
that.
it's a good one. It's
Mm,
always focusing on the positive
yes.
and the gift
Yes.
that you can get from it. And again, as I like to do, sharing it with others because you never know who you're going to meet and what one thing you could just say or have a little conversation with someone how you changed their life.
Right. Right.
And I've had a lot of experiences like that, where somebody will just say one thing or you're passing by somebody and you hear them say something and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's what I needed to hear. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's around everywhere. Leave yourself open to it.
I think that's the key to it because, like you said, that stuff, that information, whatever you want to call it, is
Mhm.
out there everywhere all the time.
All the
And
time.
if I'm just living in my little bubble, closed off to the rest of the world, well, then I can't get the benefit of any of that. But
No.
if I leave myself open to it,
Mhm.
and again, it doesn't mean I have to engage every person I pass in conversation or whatever. It's just be open to stuff that's happening in your life,
Yeah.
things you might see or hear, or you read a billboard, or you hear
Oh,
a
yeah.
song on the radio or whatever that
Mhm.
touches you in a way that it has not done before.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's all helpful. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
does it come from a higher power? It doesn't matter. It's the results that matter. And the results are, my life is improved because of something I heard or saw just
Mhm.
casually today.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. That
It
I
is.
want to be
It
open
really
to
is.
that. I
Yeah.
hope I am. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
I
very
feel
cool.
that we are. And I feel most people are.
Yeah.
And if someone's not, then just kind of, do a little self-inventory of what are you afraid of? What do you not want to look at? Or is there something that you're carrying with you that has so much weight? Because that has energetic weight.
Right?
It's like, why are you carrying it? How is it serving you? Or is it okay to let it down? Put it down,
Right.
look at it, take what you need, and then the rest of it, my favorite thing, recycle it, you know?
Recycle it. No, it's true though. It's true. You get to, and that's another part of the filing process that we talked about.
Mhm.
You get to decide how you're going to remember something. That's
Right?
the filing thing where you're actually putting it in a folder that says, oh, this was a positive thing for me. This is something I learned from. This is something I got a good experience from or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus the other side of it. This really sucked. Or, okay, well, maybe it did for a moment or whatever. But even if it did suck for the moment or whatever, now you can recycle that. Now you can say, all right, I'm done with that.
Hmm.
I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And you can choose. I'm going to pick my words carefully here because I know some people would argue with whether or not you can choose to forget something or whatever. What do you think about that? Can I choose to forget something? If I had a bad experience or what I thought was a bad experience, can I choose to forget or do I just think about it differently?
I would say think about it differently because if you just forget about it, it's still going to be around. If you choose to shift it or see a different perspective on it, that
Hmm.
empowers you.
Right. That's true. I would agree with that because, like you said, even if you think you're forgetting something, making a
Mhm.
because you can't make a conscious effort to Well, I don't know that. I'm not a psychiatrist or a brain doctor or whatever, and I don't play one on TV. So I don't know that you can actually do. I don't think you can do that because, like you said, it's in there,
It's there.
and it's going to come back and bite you in the butt at some point where
Mhm.
you go, oh, I thought I'd forgotten about that. Well, no,
Right.
it's just still there.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So rather than think about it or hope that you can forget, air
Right.
quotes, forget,
Right.
um, the way you file it away in your memory,
Yeah.
in your energy, is
Hmm.
the important piece to
Right.
say, yeah, this happened. And in the moment back there 5 years ago, it sucked. But
Yeah.
now it's past and I learned something and
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. So now
Yeah.
we're on to something there. That's good. I like
Right.
that. I do.
Yeah.
Started out the half hour with me just complaining for it, and now we're gonna
You
choose how we think about things.
you were not
I was
complaining. You
not
were
complaining.
sharing.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
what?
You were sharing.
Sharing. I was sharing.
Sharing and just getting different perspectives on it.
There you go. Different perspective. I like that. I do. Yes. Different perspectives on things. That's awesome. Let's do this. Let's take a break. I
Okay.
got to tell you this. I got to tell you this quick story with this eyeball thing going on. As I Again, it's my left eye, and I know people can't see it, so I'm going to describe, but it's hilarious. It's been funny to me that as I look with what little peripheral vision I have, I can
Hmm.
see down into the parking lot because I'm on the fourth floor apartment here, and there's cars parked down below. And there's a tree and there's a white car parked under it. But with my peripheral vision, for the life of me, every time I glance that way, this is going to be crazy. It looks like a pile of snow.
Oh my gosh.
And here I am in April in Gainesville, Florida, where it's
Yeah.
84 degrees outside, but
Yes.
it's just the curvature of the white. For anybody who's lived up north, and if you haven't, God bless you, you've missed out on one of life's great experiences, winter in Cleveland. Um, it's just, when they pile up the snow, it just gets this lumpy kind of gray white pile of stuff, and
Yes.
that's what I'm seeing, and it's really giving me a little bit of a smile. That's a cute thing. So there you go. All right. I don't know where that came from. I just had to throw it out there as part of the show today. So there you go. It's all about perception, isn't it? It's all about how you see things.
Absolutely. And
And
laughter is one of the best medicines.
it
So
is the
right
best.
now I know you're under, some stress.
A
And
little stress. A little bit.
so, the laughter is a good thing.
I Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So that amused
is
me,
funny.
and I'll take that through the day. And when God knows when I'll see snow again. Hopefully never, but I shouldn't say that. Someday I'll see snow again somewhere, and I'll remember this moment. So there you go. All right, go refill your coffee. Do whatever you need to do. We will be right back. I've got a cool article on. You've heard of FOMO, but what about FOBO? Stick around and I'll explain. Welcome back. This is The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. I'm Bill Sklodowski, my partner, Vicki Wagoner. If you would like to get in touch, we didn't do that. We'll do that right now. But I was going to remind folks to visit our Facebook page. If you do a search on the Facebook page, on Facebook for The Practical Path Podcast, you got to spell it all out. The Practical Path Podcast, you'll find us. We list every new week's show there and some other things. I posted the graphic that we used last week and stuff like that. So it's all out there. And if you would like to get in touch with my friend Vicki here for any kind of tune-up to your little spiritual experience with life, try and think of a better way to say it sometimes. How can folks get in touch with you there, Miss Vicki?
They can call or text 239-248-0586 or email Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner, 53 @gmail.com.
There you go. And I've been putting out, I haven't had a new video in a while, but go over to YouTube, check out Bill's iPhone tips on YouTube, and you'll see all my latest stuff there. So there you go. So, and don't fall for any of those email scams, boys and girls. Just don't. Just trust me when I tell you, when you get a text message, the new one I've been getting, because I'm in Florida, I've been getting the ones for the prepaid, they call it Sun Pass in Florida.
Yeah.
Which is you have the little gizmo in your car so that when you drive on the bridge or the turnpike or the whatever, it automatically bills you. So this past 2 months, I've been getting ones that is like, you have an unpaid bill at SunPass and we need to collect your money on it. And I'm like, oh, come on. I haven't been on a highway on a paid toll road in a year. So anyway, and you can always tell because there's always some bad English. There's some grammatical error or whatever. So anyway.
Yeah, I actually got one a couple months ago, and I'm like, the last time you used it, it's like, like 3 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, I haven't been to Florida, so I don't think I used it.
Just a little common sense goes a long way on this one.
Yes.
It really does. And I mean, that one's almost too obvious, but I did want to bring it up. I get that one. You get the other one that it's like, hey, this is UPS and we've got a package for you and we can't find your address. So, and trust me, UPS knows where you live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's all scam. All scams. Don't fall for them, please.
There's so much out there.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with that. I'm just keeping you safe online there. But the concept of FOMO is pretty simple, which is, if you don't know, fear of missing out.
Okay.
And they use that a lot in advertising and stuff like that. It's like, oh, all your friends are wearing new jeans or driving a new car. You don't want to miss out on that, same thing. Fear of missing out. Okay. So there's a new, and this is from an article I found. And again, we'll give credit where credit is due for this. It's by an author, Caroline. I'm having a hard time reading that. Caroline B. something. I'll post it on the Facebook page.
Okay.
And it's all about, you've heard of FOMO, but what about FOBO? Here's how to spot this difficult issue. FOBO is basically fear of a better option.
Huh.
So how many times, and I'm going to raise my hand, how many times have you not done something or not taken action on things because you have this, and they use the word fear, and I'm not, anxiety, concern, worry. Maybe you're being overly optimistic. I don't know if it's overly optimistic. Maybe you're being optimistic that something better will come along so you don't do the thing that's right in front of you.
That's a good point. Yeah.
as someone who has spent a good portion of his time on dating websites,
Okay.
currently not, thank you. I'm currently taking a break from that. I think that's basically, I think that's where it was invented. I mean, I don't know I don't know who invented FOBO or whatever, but I believe that that's one of the great examples of it. Is
Mhm.
that you could see someone, a profile on a dating site and think, oh, that's a nice looking person and they have an interesting profile and maybe I should reach out to them or whatever. But what if something better comes along?
Mhm. Well,
and so you and so you choose to wait. Actually, as it says here, it's basically FOBO, fear of a better option, is the anxiety that something better will come along, which makes it undesirable to commit to existing choices when making a decision. So, in other words, it keeps you stuck. It keeps you
yeah,
stuck,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it says this specifically refers to decisions that where there are perfectly acceptable options in front of you right now, and yet we struggle to choose one
Mm,
because we're thinking, what if something better comes along? So I get it.
yeah.
So the term is FOBO as well. Yeah, from et cetera, et cetera. Wrote an article, Harvard Business School. Oh, Harvard Business School. Look at that. So FOBO is what this author calls the affliction of abundance. In other words, we have so much to choose from these
Mhm.
days. So
Yeah.
much. And again, to go back to my dating thing, whatever,
Right.
I get an email. I still, even though I don't have an active profile on match.com, I'll call them out. Um, they're still sending me an email every day because they have my email address and they want me to spend money with them. So it's like, oh, look, here's 6, 8, 10 ladies that are in your area that you might find interesting. And there's no way, as a single man, there's no way I can't be looking at that going, oh, maybe. Because of course that's where I'm at. So I I recognize this FOBO thing in all its glory. And it's really,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
as the author says, it's a nagging feeling that makes you hesitate or downright freeze up when faced with a decision, especially if there are several options available, worried that a better or even, dare I say, perfect choice might be out there and then come along any second. This, according to life coach and entrepreneur Thomas Vortka. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sir. Whether it's picking something from a menu at a restaurant, choosing a vacation spot, or in more serious cases, deciding on a life partner,
Mm,
FOBO thrives on the question, what if something even better is out there waiting for me? This is an extreme form of risk aversion, and it leads to overanalyzing and procrastinating.
I wondered about that.
Hi,
Yes.
my name's Bill, and I'll tell you I'm on the Procrastinators Club sometime later in the future. The point of potentially never making an actual decision, basically, it's a recipe for indecision or what is now known as, in the current world's, analysis paralysis, as people draw out the process of making choices and hesitate to commit. As a result, you live in a world of maybes, stringing
Yeah.
yourself and others along. Rather than assessing your options, choosing one, and moving on with your day, you delay the inevitable. It's not unlike hitting the snooze button on your alarm clock and pulling the covers back over and over and over again.
Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, again, from other authors here, FOBO is a serious problem that can afflict far more damage than FOBO. FOMO, get my words right. Unlike FOMO, which is a largely an internal structure that hurts mostly you, the costs of FOBO aren't just borne by you, the individual, they are imposed on others around you, which is true.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
So
Yep.
people with FOBO tend to alienate their friends, families, and business associates and potential romantic partners because people eventually lose faith that they will ever actually make a real decision. Isn't that interesting? That
Oh
we
my
can get to
gosh.
the point, of so much indecision that we just don't.
You just
And
don't make one.
that's awesome. I mean, awesome. That's awesomely bad. That's just
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just not good. So Yeah. Social media doesn't help. FOBO usually shows up as the endless string of pros and cons, lists running in your head, people arguing for both sides of a decision. Of course, thinking through major decisions is not a bad thing. One should take time to make the right choices. However, when FOBO gets involved, this doesn't happen, and we keep going back and forth, eventually not being able to decide. I remember I've told that story on this show before. I'm pretty sure the squirrel story I told my nephew. It's like, just make a damn decision in life. You can
Yeah.
be right, you can be wrong. If you're wrong, you can change it.
Change
But
it.
if you don't make a decision, you end up like the squirrel that can't decide to go left or right in the middle of the road, and you end up a flat squirrel. So you don't want to be a flat squirrel. Just make a decision. It doesn't matter. You know.
But you're right. I mean, you can be paralyzed by it.
Paralyzed by it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Constantly second guessing yourself and living in limbo causes stress, exhaustion, and anxiety. Meanwhile,
Yes.
the feeling of peace and contentment with your life and choices can become an elusive dream. Yes, no kidding. Mentally, FOBO can contribute to anxiety and depression. The constant search for a better option prevents individuals from fully enjoying their present circumstances. See,
Yes.
we
Yes.
always come back to the present moment on this show. How
Yes.
important is that?
Yes.
Yeah. To me, that I think the mindfulness thing, and there's no real good, well, perhaps there is, and we'll talk about it someday, but the idea of having something to trigger you into thinking, wait, stop, what am I doing? Can I be mindful of the thing that I'm doing now and bring a little wisdom to it, or a little decision to it in the case of FOBO, etc.
Right.
Yeah, to me, it's the mindset thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can you do to combat FOBO? It's essential to shift your mindset about choices. Embrace the idea that your decisions may be the best for the moment, even if alternatives come up later. And
Yeah.
this is exactly what we've been talking about here. Rather than viewing other options as being inherently better, you might want to think about them as being simply different. This perspective can encourage you to make decisions and own them instead of waiting for something better. And remember that you can always pivot and adapt in the future as new options may emerge, which I love that. I mean,
Yes.
make a
That is
decision
great.
now,
Mhm.
go with that.
Yeah.
If something better does come along, all right, you're free to. Nobody's
Yeah.
putting you in handcuffs here. Nobody's making sure you can't change your mind. You always
Right.
can.
Yeah.
But I think that's where, again, and it's interesting how we kind of talked about it in the first half of the show about how you file stuff in your mental little filing cabinet there in your
Oh,
computer, in your brain. It's like, for now, I'm going to consider this to be complete, done, decided, whatever.
Right.
So, yeah. And a part of that is what the author talks about in the next paragraph. To break this cycle, it is crucial to cultivate self-trust and listen to your instincts.
Yes.
I knew you'd love that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often the allure of the grass being greener is a facade that distracts us from appreciating the value of current choices. If you feel like the anxiety and stress related to FOBO are consuming your life, consider seeking support. If needed from a mental health professional, counseling can also help. Besides going to therapy, other possible solutions look like involving others who you trust to weigh in on your decisions.
Mhm.
In other words, get the advice of a friend you trust. Creating a plan for both sides of the decision. That's another thing you can do. Really ask yourself, what could I be losing or gaining? What if the better option does come along?
Yeah.
Does this current decision have to be permanent? And my
Yeah.
answer is nothing has to be permanent.
Nothing's permanent.
Right. So again, just being aware in the moment
Yes.
that I'm making this decision now
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's the one that I'm stuck with.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that even, to me, that even applies. It's funny, that even applies to everyday kinds of things. And I don't know if it's FOMO or FOBO or what it is, but it's awareness in the moment of the decisions you're making. Like I want to continue to support my health and lose a few pounds and all this sort of thing.
Right.
Does that mean that when I walk by the cookies at the grocery store, am I buying those cookies? No, I'm making a decision. Now I might have fear of missing out on the cookies, but I'm also thinking longer term, and if I really,
Right.
really, really needed a cookie, I can pivot on that decision later. But hopefully I make a good decision. There you go. Right?
Thank you, Dr. Bill.
I'll tell you, it's
No,
tough out there,
that
but
was
yeah,
good. No, that's really good. Yeah.
right, right,
Because we get like frozen, like, this looks good, but what if?
right, right.
And, you can what if yourself to death. You know, it's like, try it or not. If try it and it works, great. If not, you go, hey, look what I did. At least I tried.
Exactly.
It was an experience. Okay, what did I learn from it? All right, make a different choice.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to finish this thought, the guy has a couple of other possible solutions, and asking friends, trusting your gut instinct, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Now,
Mhm. Yeah.
and he says this isn't the best case scenario, but it works, and it forces you to think about it. Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin, right? See, I knew you were going to say that
Wow.
because most people would say, well, why would I trust that to make a decision for me? And then my answer is, yeah, but you can't do it. You are apparently at this moment, not saying I'm not putting this on
No,
you as a life, but I'm
no.
saying in this moment, you can't make a decision. Flip a coin. Now, if you do, and it comes out and you go, oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, wait, we have some information here, don't we? Or you flip a coin and it comes out the way you want, and you go, oh, I like that. Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe you should have made that decision all along. So I think the point that the author is making, excuse me, my nose is itchy. I think the point that the author is making is that the coin isn't making the decision. The coin flip is not making the decision so much as it is showing you, hopefully giving you some insight about how you really feel about something.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've used that line on people before, where somebody will say, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. Well, if you did know, what would the answer be? What do you mean if you did know? What would it? And
Yeah,
it's like,
take a
at
second.
least that breaks sometimes, I hope, that breaks the little log jam in your brain
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do this. Or flip a coin. Okay, steak or chicken, steak or fish, flip a coin. Comes up fish. Oh no, I wanted the steak. Well, hello, you made a decision.
Just
Congratulations.
made one.
So anyway, that is FOBO, fear of a better option. And again, I don't want to put my my dating life into it too much, but I really think that there's a lot of that because again,
Yeah.
especially for I don't know if the ladies have it any better than the men or not. I'm sure they don't. It's probably bad on everybody's side, that it's just you are bombarded by possibilities and choices and all of this, and you're
Yeah.
constantly thinking to yourself, this one's nice, but ...
Mm-hmm.
And in that regard, I mean, I get it. You're making what feels like a bigger decision. All right, steak or fish for dinner. I get it. Tomorrow, I'm having dinner tomorrow too. I can have steak tonight and fish tomorrow. But with a dating life, with a life partner kind of a decision,
Yeah. Yeah.
a little bigger, a
You need
little
to
bit more of an
separate.
investment. I mean, now like you said, like Vicki said a moment ago, you could try. And again, I guess that's what the whole dating process is. You go out on a date with somebody and go, oh, I'm really interested. I'll do, let's have a second date and see how it goes. Or
Yep.
you have the first date and you go, yeah, no spark, no fire there. So I'm okay.
Right. Yep.
See what's next. But just, I guess the point of all of this is just to be, again, it's all about the awareness of what's going on in your energetic life, in your brain, in your heart, in your spirit, however you choose to talk
Yeah.
about it. To me,
Yeah.
that's the big thing. That's the big
It
thing.
it really is. And it's learning to trust that. If you've got a feeling, if you've got a knowing or something, flashes to you, you've got to trust that.
Right. Right.
And it's okay to just step back a little bit and go, okay, let me put all this down. Sometimes putting it in writing, it's
Mm.
right there in front of you.
Oh,
It's
sure.
it's simply a statement, and it instead of it being all jungled up in your mind, it's right there in front of you,
Right.
and that helps with some clarity.
Oh, sure. Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's been done. I think Ben Franklin invented that, where you piece of paper, draw a column, pros and cons on either side, question
Right.
at the top, pros and cons on either side. Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know, pick something. I want to take this new job doing this. Okay, pros and cons. Pros, all the good stuff, all the bad
Mhm.
stuff. Look
Right.
at it, read it. Is it the real thing? Okay. Is this true? Is it not? You can play all those games with it, but
Right.
yeah. And you're right. Just getting it out of your head and down on paper
Hmm.
is so important
Really
to
is.
help you, because then you see it.
Yeah.
It's not rummaging around.
Yeah.
One of the sports talk radio guys I listen to, he's a philosopher too. They're all philosophers. His thing is say it out loud.
Mm.
Say it out loud. Again, we're not talking steak or fish for dinner here. We're talking big life decisions
Oh,
about, do I move
yeah.
here? Do I take this job? Do I buy this car? Do I whatever? The big things. Say it out loud, because then your brain gets to hear it like it's somebody else
Yeah.
telling it to you,
Right.
rather than it rummaging around again in your brain. And then you can go, that makes no sense. Or that sounds really
Oh,
good,
that
or
sounds
whatever,
good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love the write it. Maybe you write it down and then read those things out loud to yourself. Ooh, I like that. Put
Right.
the two together.
Yeah.
I love that idea. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's that. It's again, it's all about the awareness of where you're at in your head and what
Yes.
you're telling yourself and all of that. And Vicky's favorite line of all time is yet again important: be your own best friend. Doggone it.
Yes. Yep.
Um, what would your friend tell you? What would your best
I
friend that you trust on this, what advice would they give you in
right.
this situation?
Yeah. And I've been thinking of that. If you've got someone that you really trust and you feel comfortable with, put it out there. Say, hey, from that different perspective. Because sometimes, we have one thought and we kind of mull it all over. And if you get somebody else to look at it from the outside, and it's, neutral about it,
Right.
that'd be very helpful too.
Of course. I
Yeah.
think again, that's just like the anything that gets it out of your head. And if you
Yes.
tell it to a friend, that gets it
Yeah.
out of your head.
Yeah. Yeah. And, if a friend is a really good friend and we've we've been good friends for a long time, they're going to tell you the truth because they care about you.
Right.
They're not going to, glorify it to make you feel good. They're going to say, hey, listen, this one's really like, you need to get rid of. Or this one, have you looked at this side of it?
Right.
So,
Right.
but they're always going to tell you the truth because they love you, they respect you, they want the best for you. And we have to do the same for ourselves.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
In anything and everything, but again, especially with life's decisions, big decisions,
Big
not
decision.
small decisions, it doesn't matter. Figure, good
Right.
advice always helps. Hearing it for yourself helps. Writing it down for yourself helps.
Yep.
In the end, flip a coin. I love that.
Flip a coin. Well, that's interesting because if you flip a coin, you got to think your energy is on it.
Also true. We've talked about that. We've talked about
So,
like pendulums and
and
cards and stuff like
yeah,
that we have talked about a
absolutely.
lot.
Yeah.
And I know that you've done have you ever, as we come down to the end here, have you ever had that with clients and customers that are struggling with a decision and then you use one of those tools to help them?
Yep. Oh, yeah. And
Oh
my
yeah.
intuition, because I,
And then hopefully they go, "Oh, that's what I was thinking too," or because it would be, what happens if you do, again, it's the flip a coin thing. It's like if it comes up the way you want, good. If it
great.
comes up the way you don't want, well, now you have more information about what you really didn't want.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not going to recommend flipping coins. I will recommend that you call my friend Vicky here and get in touch with her about this or any, life decisions. She's not going to make the decision for you,
No.
but she is going to help you, because she's helped me with this many a time, on seeing it clearly and seeing it through, well, I don't know. Tell me how you would do that. If somebody's got a big decision to make, what are you guiding them in? Because you're not, like I said, you're not making a decision for anybody.
Oh, no, no. What I do with the oracle cards and my intuition that I have is I just combine those together, and whatever the cards come up, they're the other person's cards. I'm simply the facilitator of, finding the right ones, because I'm neutral. A lot of times, I'm meeting the person for the first time, but I have the ability to feel things and understand things, and things that maybe, they didn't want to look at, I can look at because it doesn't affect me, but it affects them.
Right.
So the combination of my intuition and using the cards, and the cards I've been using for over 20 years, are phenomenal. And because you build a relationship with your cards too, like you did with the coins,
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I am just neutral. So whatever comes up is for that person. And people come back and say, "Oh, do you remember when you said this and that?" And I said, honestly, no.
No.
I said, because this is for you.
Right.
So that's why I record it, because people, forget a lot of stuff that comes out. So I record the readings, because that way they can hear it. Because at the moment, sometimes you think you're hearing it, but you're not.
Of
So by
course.
recording it and listening to it again, there's so much that comes up. And I've had so many people say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I recorded it, because I missed this part."
Right.
And most of the time, it's that important part that at the moment, somebody doesn't want to hear it. But if it's right there, you got to hear it.
There you go.
gotta
Yeah,
be
that's true. That's true. If you're in the moment, and you know that in conversation, you see that every day, that somebody will say, "Well, I don't remember you saying that." Well, no, because you either weren't paying attention, or it wasn't important to you, or you thought it was. There's
Or
100 reasons why you might not hear something.
And a lot of times it's because they don't want to hear it.
Right.
But if you want to get the truth, come on, sit down with me. If you want me to just kind of BS you, goodbye. I do this because it's so important to me. It has changed my life. Like I said, for over 20 years, I've had people come back and their lives change because I'm just being honest with them.
Right. Right. And hopefully that leads to giving people the ability to be honest with themselves more often
Yes.
as well. Yeah. And that's what really this past hour has been all about, about
Right.
looking at things in a way that you are honest with yourself about stuff.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
whether it's the decisions you make in life or all of that stuff. So yeah, I get that. Cool. Well, if somebody would like to hear more about that, maybe for themselves, Miss Vicki, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, again, they can call 239-248-0586 or text me, or they can email Vicki, VICKI, Wagoner, WAGONER 53@gmail.com.
And again, for all of you folks who, need help discerning the good news, bad news with your gadgets. No psychic stuff required for gadgets. It's all just push this button, but that's my specialty. So head over to YouTube, check out Bill's iPhone tips for more on that, and we will do that. So Miss Vicki, as always, it's been a pleasure, and I promise that next week's going to be so different. It's going to be ridiculous, because I will have been through the surgery, and we will literally see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yes, I thank everybody for their prayers and their energy and all that stuff. So thank you. And I accept it all, and we'll figure out where to go from there. So there probably will be some life lessons involved with having surgery. I'm sure there will. So
yes, there always
we'll talk about that. Until then, everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm Bill Sklodowski. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
And I'm Vicki Wagoner. Thank you again for joining us. And remember to always be your own best friend.